Okay, let's... Use any key, continue. Yes, please. Alright, so, since we're here now, let's recap what happened last time. So, last time we started episode 2, and for some reason our best friend Kazuma was killed, while Ryonosuke, our main character, was stowed away in the cabin, in the wardrobe of the cabin where Kazuma was found. And a brilliant, just a brilliant drug addict, I guess, Herlock Sholmes, figured out that Ryonosuke is in that wardrobe and it has to be the murderer because it was a locked room case, although there is access through what's that called? A ventilator that connects to the next room. And we are now trying to get into the cabin number 2, the room next door to the cabin where the murder happened. And just before we ended the stream yesterday, there was a woman crying out for help, I believe. Alright, let's get into this. 9th of January, SS Burger. First class cabin number 2. Why do you have scissors? And you are most obviously the 16 times murderer and revolutionary, Russian revolutionary, right? Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. Really? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you are Mr. Grimsby Royals, I believe. Yes, that's me, and you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So, I assure you, you may trust me completely. I forgot to plug the... Right, frames. The man uses the magazine like a business card. A detective. Huh. I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. In that bag? Holy fuck, that poor ballerina. But that wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So, might it be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? Ah, don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, isn't it? traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh yeah, didn't just move. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So, this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. I don't think conversing will get us anywhere, but... Should I converse? Or should I look for clues? Does it matter? Well, I want to look at that. Why are you in the water? What do you think you're doing? This is my cabin. Get out. Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Great detective, do your thing. Do you happen to have a moment? Please, Mr. Sholmes. You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in the... Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to pull my great powers of detection into service. Oh. And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian? Hiding a secret. Why, the truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusive for the Russians. Right, yeah, sure. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh, yes, please. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. True. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes... I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh. I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Oh, another Herlock. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle! Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? Could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well, then I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. The scissors is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. Trim the beard? You were in the workshop using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then, in fact, is this. Why would you desire decide to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roy? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. The newspaper? Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which will appear you have read also, Mr. Ryonosuke. I'm sure it seems it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before I gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fierce Russian revolutionary himself, violent Bolshevik. Villain I'm not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Old man's identity, conclusion of a revolutionary in the run. Took it to wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roy. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, a travelling case. It is time, I think, that the case we opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the travelling case? Dear me. We are not now suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless duel? Oh, it's been a while since I had French. Google. Guess I'm not that bad at French. Betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Then conclusion, kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elementsky. Susatosa, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man was a revolutionary, well, able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into the case, even if you pushed really hard. You don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean, you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Oh, well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar. For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortions in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now. I think his powers of observation are magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention, his logic, that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susanna. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Huh. Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction oral. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried, in fact I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Old man's identity. The conclusion revolutionary. So, the dubious-looking Russian supermodel, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is an enormous pair of shears in your hands. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you stored. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Ryonosuke either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long hard look at Mr. Ryonosuke. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intends to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deductions better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Ryonosuke really going to use those enormous shears for? Golden locks, okay. Oh, so that's the ballerina herself. I see. What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, the color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath this thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Yep.
Yes!
You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you scored. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One is still very much in her youth. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then back is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Nope. The other side, my dear, the other side. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? Why? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry. You look like you are in your element as you dance around the room, deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. Yeah, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. Hey! The star changed? How shall I call you? Star? How are you? I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes, let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman seems to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Norwich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Whose name we obviously forgot again. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Okay, he's dead. She's dead, I mean. Ouch. Ah, nice. Good job beating it. just recently started playing this. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. The old man's identity. A ballerina on the run. Solved. Okay, topic 2, wrongdoing. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Yeah, well, obviously not. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at the very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. Abducting herself. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the fruitive plant falls. I don't like this word. It's the frown, Sherlock. Herlock. The proof of your crime sits right in front of us. This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside the traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? It's theft. Huh, I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. I'm just wondering, how does this work out? He utters his conclusion, then you come in like, that can't be right. It's this, obviously. Here is why. And then he's like, oh yeah, you're right, that's what I was about to say. God damn it, this guy is a mess. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. It's a very small case, isn't it? You can see instantly that no person could possibly fit inside there. So does that tell us that Miss Pavlova's telling plants in this direction was focused on something else? If that's true, though, it doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Well, there's nothing incriminating inside this case. Why did she refuse to let us look inside? Yes, I wonder why. Perhaps she has a perfectly harmless reason, though.
Yes!
Tiara. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in another rich ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rupees. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. No. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully, taking their precious tiara with you. I have no family, no friends. I'm all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an earth of pressure. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Calm, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this travelling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He's completely changed tack with this deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? No, not really. Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area, and that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. This is a charming little picture, isn't it? What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? Or descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. It doesn't seem to be what I'm looking for. It looks like these are all the same books that we have in our cabin. I suppose the steward likes to make sure passengers have plenty to read for the long voyage. And have you noticed how all the books have fallen over, just like in Kazuma-sama's cabin? It's almost like someone's taking a sweep at them. Maybe Miss Pavlova while she was practicing her ballet. Anyway, the point is we don't have time to look through all these books at the moment. We couldn't even if we wanted to, they're all in Russian. Well, that's a relief. Let's try our luck elsewhere. These are the rules of passage for travel. It's a pet. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There was exactly the same notice in our cabin too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruto-san. You'd probably be left to drift in the freezing cold ocean, or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Whee!
Yes!
I totally forgot about those rules. Sorry, I think the game audio was a bit too loud. I didn't notice it. Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Ah, stupid. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. And since it moved, it's a pet. That is the real reason why you refused to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules, of passage, a pet. Possession of a prohibited animal. Deduction complete. Elementary. Okay. So clearly you aren't. You said you were. Yeah. No, I'm not. Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Burya is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet, to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. Couldn't agree less. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell. Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself, so no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened. I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would find me. So, I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and at that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? I doubt it. There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside, the only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say it to any of the crew, your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return, you must tell us in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night. Yes, all right. I will tell you. Well, now, Mr. Naruhodo, wasn't it something, Mr. Sholmes' great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. Seriously? You're only good at that, are you? Oh, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When? And why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment. Can't it? Really? Anyway, let's listen to what Ms. Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. You know what? I'm gonna end this stream early. I know it's really, really early, and I should definitely go on for a bit more, but a bit longer. But I want to set this microphone straight. It's annoying that it was changed for no reason at all. So, yeah. Exit. Save. Yes. Thanks. Alright. And exit. Stupid setting. Alright. I know it's a quick one, a short one, but I'll try to stream longer tomorrow and have everything set up correctly.